and now the host of the Pete Thompson Show. It's a Tuesday with Thompson. Pete Thompson joins us here on the Boardwalk Honda Hotline. PT.
MD.
You were into that women's soccer game today.
You know what? My final tweet, and I don't want to misquote myself because only Charles Barkley does that in his autobiography, but my final tweet was something like, if every soccer match was this exciting, I would watch soccer all the time.
You were into that game.
Michael, it had everything you needed, okay, in the first 20 minutes of the match. And by that I mean 20 minutes on your clock, not the match clock. You had a goal from the U.S., unbelievable goal, nice header, right? And then you had England counter, and boom, it was 1-1 with an even better goal. And I was like, holy cow, that was quick, right?
Yeah.
Then it goes on, it's intense, you know. The women's game, they possess the ball more. They have more crisp passes. The fouling didn't start till the second half. You know, I would say it's not as physical, but that's not true because by the time they got to the second half, they were beating the bleep out of each other. By the way, I loved that Progressive commercial about where you curse like a drunken sailor. That made me laugh.
Well, the PT, you were thoroughly entrenched in this game today, a 2-1 win for the women. And did you hear the story about the number one selling jersey for Nike is the U.S. Women's World National Team?
Oh, is that right? Well, that's nice. I mean, look, I just thought there was a lot of subplots to it. You know, the whole Rapinoe not playing thing, and it's Rapinoe, Billy Schwein, if you're listening, Megan Rapinoe. Rapinoe.
Well, he said that his take is she doesn't deserve to have her name pronounced correctly.
Oh, jeez, so mad, Billy Schwein. And the laugh. He would be laughing right now. Well, who cares? Ha, 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 ha. No, she didn't play. And you know, you would have thought, like, it was easier to find out who Deep Throat was than to find out, what, you know, from the Watergate scandal than to find out why she wasn't playing. I mean, Fox continually, and I don't know what the announcer's name was, the play-by-play guy, but, like, literally the whole first half, every couple minutes, instead of like a reset to the score, because you can see that on the screen, but I think they use the same feed for radio, but every couple minutes it was like, you know, U.S. star, Megan Rapinoe, out, not sure why, you know, we've asked, no comment, you know, I'm thinking, like, good Lord, who cares? She's not playing, like, get over it.
Well, I mean, obviously, there's a player of that magnitude not playing with no reason. That would be like, hey, you're in the playoff game in the Stanley Cup Finals, and Simone Gagne, I mean, not Simone, Claude Giroux.
Always go for Gretzky. Whenever you're going for a big reference, always go for Gretzky.
Claude Giroux is just not playing, and nobody tells you why. I mean, you don't even get lower body or upper body. You just get nothing.
Yeah, you could tell Fox was a little pissed. But, hey, you know, her replacement, this girl Price, scored the first goal. The replacement stepped up. You know, here's another thing since I haven't watched this team, and this is classic PT, and I know you're going to love this, okay? So the match starts, and the U.S. score, and I think to myself, hey, you know what? I'm going to tweet that because, you know, Mike Gill always says if you're watching something, tweet it, right? Live tweet a little. That'd be fun. So I go to tweet the thing. While I'm tweeting, England almost scores back. So now I'm already behind, which is always one of the things that the PT doesn't like, you know. I don't want to be delayed, right? So I get the tweet out about the U.S. I get the tweet out about the England almost scoring or England scoring back, right? I'm doing fine. The keeper for the U.S. makes this great save, and I call her Melissa Nair, Melissa Nair, right? And later on, as they go back to the second half and they start their profile on some of the people, well, the girl's name is Alyssa, Alyssa, and Nair, of course, can't be like the product that removes the hair on your legs if you're a lady. It's got to be Nahaer, right? So you would probably have deleted the earlier tweet, but the PP, he just leaves up his mistake and then laughs at himself for saying, yeah, you can tell how much I follow the U.S. women's national team. I wasn't even close on this lady's name.
Good job out of you. Are the Sixers a better team today than the one that ended the year versus the Raptors, Pete Thompson?
That is such a great question. I listened a lot yesterday. I'm going to steal my Temple buddy Mark Jackson's answer, you know, to say no because they still need some stuff, but yet I like what they are, you know. I mean, and I like that they got national attention again. Look, clearly there was some disconnect between Jimmy Butler and the Sixers, and depending on who you believe, whether or not they were never intending to bring him back or what was going on there, who knows? But there was things that happened on Sunday. I was glued to it, and you know me. That is not my normal routine to be into the NBA trade deadline, whether it was when it used to be at midnight or whether it was a 6 o'clock thing. But I had put it in my phone. I had turned on. I watched the NBC Sports Philadelphia coverage right at 6 o'clock to watch as the stuff came in. And then I heard you talking about what a great job ESPN did. Like every time the smoke would go off, you knew something was happening. And it was just funny because while watching that, you could watch the tweets from other people who were like, great. Like when JJ left, it was like, great. We have 5 players. What the hell are we going to do now? And I'm thinking, like, whoever tweeted that's an idiot, because clearly something's going to happen. Like, you're not just going to have 5 players. Like, relax, let it happen, and then tweet out a reaction. But, we live in a right now generation. What? Right now, right away, right now. Are they a better team? To answer your question 30 minutes later, no. But they could be if they add some select pieces.
All right, PT, we got a poll question up. I want you to answer because I think this is right up your alley.
And
this came up because you had a special caller last week on the first edition, or 2 weeks ago, on the first edition of the Pete Thompson Show, 8 o'clock Saturday morning. Which public address announcer is most recognizable with their team? Is it Lou Nolan with the Flyers? Is it Matt Cord with the Sixers? Or is it Dan Baker with the Phillies?
I'm going to have to, and all due respect to Lou, I'm going to have to give a little tip of the cap to Dan Baker, I think, because, that's like 1 and 1A when you're choosing me. Like, Lou has been with the Flyers from the get-go, like 1967. Like, when they came in, boom, he was there. Dan Baker's been with the Phillies, I think, he's the longest PA announcer now in baseball. So he hasn't been there as long as Lou. But I got to give a little nudge to Baker just because I think that you hear Baker more during the course of his event than you hear Lou in his event. You know what I mean? Like the PA announcer in baseball, every player that comes up to bat, there's much more opportunities to hear Dan Baker's voice. You hear Lou in the beginning. I can still do, and I was going to do this to Lou a couple weeks ago, hockey pucks, like baseball, frequently leave the playing area. If at any time you wish not to view tonight's game, you can go to fan services behind Section P of the Spectrum Concourse and get your ticket refunded. Like, that was like, he read that every night at the Spectrum. Now, you tell me how much I listened to Lou Nolan as a kid growing up, if I can still recite that speech.
Well, there's a couple things here, okay? Who's Nolan.
Winning? I got to know who's winning.
Right now, believe it or not, the votes just moved a little bit as we're on this call. You can vote at 973 ESPN. 57% Dan Baker. Now, this is odd to me because 22% went Matt Cord and only 21% went Lou Nolan.
Oh, Lou's getting short-sighted. Well, that's the thing, though. Maybe, look, keep in mind that from 67 to 97, that's 30 years of Lou's core audience who have either a flip phone or like actual buttons or that jitterbug phone with the big buttons. Like, they don't know how to vote on a Twitter poll, but they love Lou. They love him,
I can't imagine a Flyers game with anybody else doing the PA. The Phillies, I think I've actually heard like a game where Baker may not have been. In fact, Baker doesn't even do the first batter of the game sometimes because he's down on the field.
He has to get from the field up to the top.
I know, but my point is, I've heard other voices do a Phillies game.
Right.
I don't know that I've ever heard anybody else do a Flyers game.
I think Lou's missed a couple days here or there for like a wedding or an illness or something, but not many, And, look, I mean, to me, it's a great Twitter poll question because I feel the same way, to be honest, or at least I used to, about the announcers, too. There are people out there that hate Zumoff, but I love Mark Zumoff. I love Merrill Reese. I think Jim Jackson's one of the best play-by-play guys in hockey. Tom McCarthy would be fourth in my list of of the Big Four, but that doesn't mean he sucks. I mean, come on. So, like, back in the day when it was Harry and, like, Whitey, forget about it. I mean, Philadelphia, both in play-by-play and in PA guys, have been blessed to have great – look, Matty Cord, has been doing it so long that they thought they could do it without him for a while, and they brought him back.
Well, that's the thing. Matt Cord did it, and then they had him out for 1 year, and they brought in the weather guy,
Tom
Lemaine. And look, Tom's a nice guy. I talked to him many times, but the energy just wasn't there. So they went and did this whole thing where they were looking for somebody. To which, by the way, I made it to like the final three, which I still don't think that it was a real thing, but it was cool just to be a part of it. And Matt Cord, they brought him back. Now, I can imagine someone else other than Cord just because he didn't do it for that year. I don't find him as synonymous with the Sixers as I do Nolan with the Flyers and Baker with and nobody even knows who does the Eagles ones. Do you?
Right. Well, it used to be Dan Baker, and
Yes.
that's another reason that I'm pissed at the Eagles. When they took Dan Baker off the PA announcing for the Eagles, they did him dirty. I think it was around the Chip Kelly time too, because I think Howie was in the broom closet, and the regime had changed a little, and Jeffrey was too much of a wuss to step in and say like, no, now. And so, yeah, they bumped Dan Baker out with really no, warning or reason. And he's so classy. He was like, oh, hey, basically the line of I serve at the pleasure of the organization. But, the guy that does it now he's just, that's the thing.
Does anybody even know his name?
No, I don't. I have no idea what his name is, nor do I care.
No.
Because he's not that good.
No, but Dan Baker, he did the Eagles for a little bit, and then he does the Phillies, but as you said, for some reason, I don't know why the Phillies do this either. They have him down on the field before the game, so he's not even up there for the first batter. I don't know why they do that.
Well, that's because they recognize that his voice now is Philadelphia Phillies baseball, so they want him to do, like, the game day operations have changed to the point that he has to read, like, these scripts, of it being the Fanatic's birthday or welcome the so-and-so course. It's not every single game that he's down on the field, but if they're doing something like Chase Utley's back to throw out that first pitch to the dude from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia or whatnot, and to his credit, Dan gets from home plate up to his booth pretty quick. He only misses like maybe the top of the first only, but yeah, that's why they do it.
Now, do you think that Pico will ever pull its sponsorship of the power play?
They'd be an idiot if they did. I mean, the only way they do it, I think, is if they change their name to something else.
I almost feel that at this point,
if they weren't Pico, like if it's the
right.
Exelon power play or something.
Right. At this point, though, the power play needs Pico more than Pico needs the power play.
Oh, man. Well, that was a great question. I'm going to vote when I hang up with you, and I know which way I'm voting. And I love Ocean City Lou. I love him. But,
by the way, Pete Thompson Show this Saturday. I know we're only Tuesday, and I know PT, you got Matt Gill coming up on
Yeah, we're starting to form our guest list for Saturday, Mike. Matt Gill, and it's funny because I still had him in my phone as Inquirer. And then I remembered, like, dude, he doesn't write for the Inquirer anymore, and he's writing for the Athletic now. And I feel like that's kind of a coup to get Matt Gelb on, because I don't think he does a ton of radio, and I'm looking forward to having him on and get his insights, because he will be in Flushing Meadow, he will be at Citi Field, he is in Atlanta tonight, he was in Miami. He travels with the team, he's there every single day, trying to figure out what the hell Gabe's doing.
Big game tonight, Nola Keuchel.
I'll be watching.
That's a lot of sports for you in one day, Peter.
It's awesome, isn't it? This summer is just great.
Well, PT, the Pete Thompson Show, it's been really good. Saturday mornings, 8 to 10. Next Saturday, by the way, the PT's pulling a triple header.
Yeah. I'm welcoming it, but it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun.
You'll have the Pete Thompson
Show. Those details.
Pete Thompson Show from 8 to 10. Then he will be live at the Burke Motor Group from 11 to 1. You can come out and meet Pete Thompson, shake his hands, and say hello to the PT. And then he'll be over at the Barbecue Festival from 2 to 4 doing a live show with Ryan Rothstein right here on 97.3 ESPN. Big day.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. That's going to be a lot of fun. start off with a good show in the morning. Go down for Burke Motor Group's car and truck show right off the Parkway there. Easy on, easy off. And then just keep on moving to PT Mobile down to Wildwood. Grub up on some of that barbecue.
Yeah,
Ryan and I had
buddy.
such a blast last year. Woo-hoo, it's going to be great.
All right, any plans for the 4th?
Yeah, not yet. You got any plans? You invited me over for a grill and chill, or what's your story?
PT, you always have an invite. You just never show.
Well, that's because you haven't built the pool yet. When you build the pool, PT will come over and displace some of that water for you.
Well, my buddy's having a party on 4th of July. It's his birthday. He has a pool.
Yeah, I got another guy that has a pool. But now here's the trump card. Your guy that has the pool, does he have an old soda machine that doesn't take money, and when you put the coin thing down, a beer comes out?
There'll be so much free beer here, you won't know what to do with yourself.
Got to come out of that soda machine. Somehow that makes it special.
All right, Peter.
All right, Michael. Good to catch up with you.